Hi, this is Lori, and this is my homework for Paul McWhorter's Uno R4 class. We're on lesson number 2, and in this class we were asked to set up our circuit for an external LED and blink SOS in Morse code. So I've done this project on the Pico with Paul, and I went kind of deep into it, and my programming skills in Python are quite a bit better than they are in Arduino, C++. And so I won't go as far with it this time because I'm kind of remembering all the C++ that I've forgotten over the last 2 years of digging into Python instead. But I just showed here the codes for all the letters, so we're only going to use SOS, or I'm only going to use SOS. But one of the nice things is it tells you a little bit about, the idea is we're going to blink this, we need to know the timing, how long is a dot, and then how long is a dash, and something I didn't even think about until I kind of looked into this when I'm doing the Pico project was, well, how much time is there between whole letters, and how much time is there between dots and dashes within a letter, and then between words. And so it all keys off of the dot, and I have a slide for that. Whatever you make a dot, then a dash is 3 times that. And in between dots and dashes within a letter, there's a dot's worth of time in between. And in between characters, letters, then there should be 3 dots or a dash amount of time. And then if you have multiple words in your message, then you should have 7 dots worth of time in between. And I got all this information from morsecode.world website. So that's where I got this information. It actually talks about how fast you want to make a dot, and that can be how many words per minute you want to be able to send. I'm going to go pretty slow, so I'm not going to worry about things like that. So I'll show you how I set that up so that I think I have the right amount of delay in between all the dashes and dots and characters, and then at the end of SOS it's going to repeat, so I'm gonna wait the amount of time in between words for that. Well, first I'll just show my setup of my circuit. I'm starting to kind of get it prepared for the more complicated circuits I know we'll be doing in the course, so I really try to avoid these loopy wires as much as I can. So I make my own wires, and you might notice there's a black wire coming from the ground pin here, and I make a ground rail, as Paul was talking about the breadboard. So this whole rail is now grounded to the Arduino. And so when I make my circuit, it's starting from pin 13, so my red wire is coming over, and it's catching the long leg of the LED. The short leg is then going into the resistor, 1K, and then the other end is coming back to ground to complete the circuit. So that's how I have it set up. And I printed a new experimental board because I like purple a lot more than yellow, so I switched to purple. So probably somebody will be mad because I switched out of their favorite color, but I got some purple PLA in, and so I decided to print another one in purple. All right, goes with my logo, right? All right, so let's talk about the code. The only thing I did that Paul hasn't talked about is I did remember how to define variables, and so I made some integers here where I set up how long I was going to make a dot, how long I was going to make a dash, and then how long a word would be. And of course they all key off of the dot, and I could have just multiplied them. Maybe that would be even more clear about how they were defined, but as you can see, I kept those ratios as it's told in the morsecode.world site. So I defined those, set up the pin, and then in my loop I'm going to send SOS, and I'm going to do it the the hard way. I'm not going to do any kind of looping since we haven't talked about looping, and I've kind of forgotten how to do looping, so I'm sure I could look it up. But anyways, I just left it the way that I think Paul probably meant us to do it. So I'm going to turn it on, delay for the dot, turn it off, and then this, even though this is the amount for the dot, we can kind of think of the second one as the time in between dots or dashes, but that is also a dot amount of time. And so you can see the 3 dots. And then, but when we get to the end, we're going to sleep those, or delay, I'm using my old Python language, I'm delaying for the dash, the three dots worth, before I go into the next character. And then the O is 3 dashes, so we'll do dashes, but notice it's a dash while it's on, but in between we only wait the dot amount, and then the dash, and then the dot, then the dash. But then at the end of O, we're going to delay the dash amount of time. And then we do S, which is the same as the first one, but at the very end, we're now going to delay the whole word delay, 7 times the dot. So that's how I did it. So let's go ahead and plug in our Uno, and it's already in there. So that's the last. It's waiting. Dot 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 dash 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 dot dot dot, and then sleep the time there. Yep. There we go. So I think it's working, and I think the timing is correct. And the way Paul had us work this up, you notice we still are blinking the internal LED here the same. So that's kind of cool that they both are blinking at the same time. All right, so that's my homework. Thanks for the lesson, Paul, and thank you for watching.